Only in America is it possible to say, you know what, I don't like the way the country is going, and to do something about it. Take that risk. Take that leap of faith. Stay involved. Trust God and act obediently. Romans 12:2 verse. That God will use all things for good for those who love him. It's bigger than you. I want you to remember that. It is bigger than you. It's bigger than me. You are here to make somebody else's life better, the pursuit of liberty and freedom. You know what gives me strength? The hundreds of thousands of you that say, Charlie, keep going.
1 Corinthians 5 and 15. So that's all pretty amazing evidence, not just intra-biblical evidence, but extra-biblical evidence that Jesus Christ was a real person. He lived a perfect life. He was crucified, died, and rose on the third day, and he is Lord and God of all.
All right, you all, come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. You all, I just want you all to know that I am still grieving. I'm still grieving right now. So I'm going to do my best. That's all I can do is my best. You all. This young man named Charlie Kirk lost his life. His life was taken from him. Yeah, I had to correct myself. His life was taken from him. And you know, this is my first time speaking out on the assassination of Mr. Charlie Kirk. My first time. And I ache. I grieve. My heart breaks. So my voice may crack, but I'm going to do my best, you all, because I am still disturbed. My heart goes off. My heart goes out to Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica Kirk, his children, his parents, and his entire family. And it's hard for me to imagine you all what his beautiful young wife is going through. It's really hard for me to imagine losing your husband because of a coward or because of a group of cowards. Now, I was actually scheduled, you all, to do an interview with Mr. Matt on at RSBN at 2:45 p.m. on September the 10th. And before getting prepared for the interview, you all, I just want to run down my timeline so that you all can understand where I'm at in this. But before getting prepared for the interview that afternoon, I told my husband, I said, you know, hey, let me go take something out for dinner. I'll cook dinner after this interview. I was up early that day. And everybody that knows me know I don't usually wake up early. I usually wake up as late in the afternoon. But I was up that early and I was feeling good. I was feeling great in my spirit. But when I got up from my desk, it was around 1:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I went to the refrigerator, you all, you know, just to see what do I feel like eating? What do I feel like cooking? All of a sudden, you all, this sick, eerie feeling just came right over me. I don't know why, but it just eerie feeling just came over me. It hit me in the gut. I tried to shake that feeling off, but it was like an eerie, nagging feeling. the more I try to shake it off and try to do something different, it stayed right there. It got greater. You know, I took deep breaths in and just try to, like, what's going on with me? I went outside, you all. I stood outside there to get some fresh air. And I went back and set up my desk. And that eerie feeling, it was still there. It was just like all over me. So I went on to set up everything to prepare for my interview. And then that eerie feeling became nervousness. I could feel myself shaking. And you know, I don't usually get nervous, you all, when I'm about to do an interview, okay? Because even though, you know, I usually don't know what the topic's going to be about, I typically don't know that. I just go there and do the interview because, you know, my motto is to always be ready so you don't have to get ready. And I just started feeling nervous. But this type of eerie, nervous feeling was a lot different. Just felt different. I just started breathing in. I started fanning. I picked up my fan. I just started fanning from my desk. And so I went ahead and I set up everything. I set up the Rumble streams for RSBN so that I can see all of the chats and different things. And I logged in, you all, around 2:40. Because remember, my interview was at 2:45. I logged in. Sitting there, still this eerie feeling. All of a sudden, you all, about 1 minute before it was time for me to go on, somebody posted in the chat that Charlie Kirk had been shot. So that gave me enough time. I still had a minute, so I was able to go over to X and search Charlie Kirk. And the first thing that I saw was that gruesome video. That was the first thing that I saw. I was like, is this AI? Is this real? What's going on? More people kept posting. He just got shot. He got shot. He's been shot. You all, my heart dropped into my gut. I was in total shock. The entire interview turned out to be about Charlie Kirk. I prayed for him, his family. At the time, no one said he was dead. We just went into a moment of prayer. But I had just saw that gruesome video. I could not get that video out of my mind while going through this, and I was just lost for words. After the interview, you all, I walked around praying. My mind was not right because of what I saw and had analyzed after what I saw. Things didn't look good. It just didn't look right. It just didn't look right. Immediately, my husband went into action, implementing extra security measures. He wouldn't even let me walk to the mailbox. I couldn't go outside. I couldn't do anything because we didn't know what was going on, what this was about. While we still sitting there trying to see what's going on, my father called me in disbelief. And while talking to him, I said, Dad, you don't want to see the video. You just don't want to see the video. I said it was like a horror movie. You don't want to see it. I said, Dad, I know what they're saying. I know they saying pray. I said, but this, in my spirit, this man has died. He's dead, Daddy. I know he's dead. They killed him. They killed him. Still kept talking to my father, trying to cook something to eat. About 20, 30 minutes later, I was looking at Matt on RSBN because he was distraught. And while we were still sitting there trying to eat, look around, you all, He said, I don't want to say this. I know I don't want to say it. He didn't want to say it, you all. But Charlie Kirk had passed away at the age of 31. And when he said that, you all I could do was just break down and cry. I went into a deep cry, a very, very deep cry. My husband came and just held me like a baby, and I cried like a baby. I was crushed, and I was helpless, trying to understand what had just happened. With this imagery in my mind and seeing what had just happened, I was just distraught. Because I could not understand, how do you kill someone because you disagree with their speech? This affected me, you all, because I'm considered an influencer in the political world. I make people think about things versus spewing the same narrative that everybody else wants you to spew. I keep telling you all about that rug, that pretty rug. I don't just look at the rug. I remove the rug and examine what's underneath the rug, all of the corruption and the rot that's underneath the rug. I examine that. And I know that the evils that be don't like anyone that goes against their narrative. But despite that, does that give, or do it give anybody the right to take my life because they disagree with my perspective? Do it give anybody the right to take Charlie Kirk's life because they disagree with his perspective? Now, my security team, has advised me that I can't even advertise where I'm going to be speaking. I cannot post any events that I'm going to be attending because of the chatter out there that want to silence conservative, influential voices like mine. It's like, oh, the devil is a liar. They've censored me, you all. They said my speech was inflammatory. My speech was a danger to society and to the community. So what they did is restricted my voice from being heard by people who signed on to hear what I had to say. And these liberal platforms are no different than the assassinator. They may not have used a bullet, but they did use algorithms to silence free speech. Now, something my brother said to me the other day, he said, if we all have freedom of speech, why does my free speech come with a price? Everybody is just trying to figure this out. Because Mr. Charlie Kirk, he wasn't out there committing crimes. He wasn't out there hurting nobody. He allowed people to come at their own free will. All Mr. Charlie Kirk was doing was having an open dialogue, exercising the freedom to agree to disagree when there's a disagreement. And his free speech cost him his life. Because a group of people found it better to silence him because they couldn't debate him. Not only do they smear who they fear, but now these idiots think they have a right to assassinate who they hate because they can't debate them. So is free speech really free? Because the same people who tell us to tolerate mentally ill men impersonating women, they can't even tolerate a real man having his own opinion. That's what I see here. And I want to know, when will these people be held accountable? How are they able to get away with terrorizing people who want to freely live their lives in love, not fear? Then to turn around and celebrate and laugh right after the murder, right after the assassination, like it's okay to take a husband away from his wife, like it's okay to take a father away from his children, like it's okay to take a son away from his parents, like it's acceptable to intentionally take the life of a human being, all because you disagree with him. To devalue life. Where have our country gone, y'all? This is despicable. It's disgusting. Shame on anyone who thought that it was so funny to take the life of another human being. Now, this hit home for me. It really, truly hit home for me because it brought me back to the same emotions that I had right after President Trump announced the death of my sister, Diamond. And it's even more evident right now today that she was murdered. Yeah. Mm-hmm. People laughing and celebrating her death, and the many messages and posting that I received, they sent it directly to me to say that she deserved what she got. She deserved to die. I had to relive that moment all over again. And even just tonight, with me posting that this is my first time speaking on the assassination of Charlie Kirk, the evil people that just came in on the feed, sick. My family had to relive that sick moment, you all, that these people did, what they said. It was pure evil, you all. But see, I want these people to understand that you reap what you sow. You may not pay what you owe, but you will reap what you sow. And there was somebody that I knew that, oh, she was so happy that Diamond was dead. Laugh, laugh, laugh. Oh, she was so happy. And you all, it wasn't even a year. She lost her brother and her father. Unexpectedly. It is a damn disgrace with what I see happening here in this country. It is truly a disgrace. So, you all, I had to cancel my interviews. I had to cancel the show altogether last week because I couldn't even eat. I couldn't think. I was totally in a state of shock, a state of disbelief, and I felt tormented. I felt tormented because the people that made fun of me and poked fun at my sister, the death of my sister, still have not been held accountable. They still have not been held accountable for the real hate against my family and against a woman, my sister, who wanted nothing more but for everyone to have peace and live in prosperity. That's all she wanted. That's all she wanted. And when I look at what they did to Charlie Kirk, laughing like it's okay to take human life. What? What about his wife? What about his children? What about his parents? How are you all okay with allowing and being okay, this type of evil being allowed into our country? How are we okay as a country with this mess going on, where people think they could just freely walk around? The ones that say, oh, gun laws, we need gun laws, they the one walking around with the damn guns, killing up people that they disagree with. Many people called to check on me and tell me they was concerned for my safety. And for that, I'm so grateful for. Even today, more family called. My beautiful mother-in-law even called. She was so worried about her daughter-in-law and her safety. You all, this is so sad that I can't even live my true life. I can't even be free to live my true life openly. So everybody fear that they're gonna take me, kill me dead, because I true to operate in my First Amendment right, which is free speech. So I'm here, and I don't plan on going anywhere. I just tell everybody to make sure that you up my security, because I can't and I won't be silent. I will continue to be the voice for the voiceless. My sister's death won't be in vain. Charlie Kirk's death won't be in vain. We all have freedom to speak our speech here in America. And if they can speak their hate, then I can freely speak my speech. Now, back in 2018, during that era, that's when I met Mr. Charlie Kirk. At the time, he was a young fellow. It was when Charlie Kirk and they brought out Candace Owen. We were at many events together. We were at the White House together. We had our moments together. At the time, he was in his, early 20s. And now you all, he's gone. He's dead at the tender age of 31 because someone else thought that he don't deserve the right to live because his speech is different from theirs. On day one, you all, when all of this happened, I was in total shock. On day two, I was in total disbelief. On day three, I was pissed off. I was pissed off because it appears that When they say no one is above the law, they seem to be above the law. These people, they continue to pick at us, torment us, do all of these damnable things, and nothing happens to them. If I would sit on my platform and say a lot of the different damnable things that these people would say, they would totally just take my whole page down. So now it is past time to identify all of these liberal groups that go around terrorizing Americans they disagree with. And it's time to label each and every one of them a terrorist organization or a terrorist. All of these groups that's headed up by Democrat leadership, all of these groups that's headed up and led by Democrat organizations should immediately be labeled terrorists, because they're terrorizing American citizens here. Yes, they're terrorizing us. And it's a doggone shame. I refuse to live in fear. I refuse to walk around in fear. I refuse to do that. The entire Democrat Party needs to be labeled as a terrorist organization. Every last one of those mother bastards that calls themselves a Democrat and part of the party need to be labeled a terrorist organization. They have done absolutely nothing for the American people but use their different paid-for groups to terrorize American citizens. If you're having an event somewhere that they disagree with, they get their paid protesters to say that they are acting out in their First Amendment right to come out there and terrorize American citizens. That's not acting in the First American free speech. That's terrorizing American citizens. That's inciting violence. Some of their signs have some of the most disgusting stuff written on it. But they are allowed to stand there at our events and terrorize us, torment us. It's a damn shame. No. If you want to protest, then you go on another street and protest. They should not be allowed to protest at our events like that. These people that I'm speaking of, they invoke fear in everyone's life. In our everyday living, they try to invoke fear some kind of way. I view these Democrat-ran groups as the new KKK. Yeah. As the new KKK. See, just like the Democrat KKK back in the day, because y'all know the Democrat is the party of the KKK. Yeah. What they did to the Black community, especially the Black community back in the day, they intimidate, manipulate in order to dominate. And that's what these same Democrats, their leadership, their led groups, that's what they're doing today. They're trying to intimidate, manipulate, and to dominate. You know, I asked this question. I said, that video of Charlie Kirk was so gruesome, and that's the first thing I saw when I went to it. And they kept it up for a long time. I said, now, if this was anybody else, they would have been took that video down. They would have scrubbed the internet. They would have removed that video. But why did they keep that video up so long? They kept it up so long, you all, because they want to implement fear. They wanted us to see the gunshot. They wanted us to see the blood oozing from his neck. They wanted us to see the visual so that we would walk around here living in fear. Why do you think ISIS chopped off and cut off people's head and put it on video for all of us to see? Huh? Because they wanted us to live in fear. And that's the same thing that these Democrats are doing today. Now listen, y'all, I got to go to break. So I am going to pick this thing up because I got to name these groups that I see that's terrorizing America. And all of them need to be labeled a terrorist organization. So I'm going to pick it right back up when we get back from this break.
Get your stuff and leave. This place is where all begins when I talk to Rob.
I don't want to hear about no Rodney, no Rambo. I don't know what his name is.
Bagel and Beatty? Of everything. Let's do something about it. You know what? Let's do something about it. I don't like you. Keep your mouth shut.
This is all your fault.
10, 9, 8, 7.
All right, you all, you can go to watchpardonme.com, watchpardonme.com in order to see the Pardon Me, the Beverly B. Williams story. It's a nice, beautiful, inspirational movie. And, you know, I'm sitting here, we're talking about censorship. They censored this movie. The movie theaters don't want this movie to be played. Why? Because they disagree with it. You know, how are we living here in America? See, it just brings me back to this. We have these services, we have these places and different things like this, and they feel like they're better than us. Like we don't belong in society because we refuse to bend over. We refuse to go along with their mental illness. So they try to exile us out of society. And if they can't do that, they just murder us. It's a disgrace. It truly is a disgrace. All of these terrorist organizations need to be dismantled. Because what they want to do is try to dominate and have us all walking around here like we're mentally ill. Terrorize American citizens. From going to a restaurant to going to an event and now simply having free will to speak. They want us all living in fear. So yes, deem them all a terrorist organization. From Antifa, Black Lives Matters, this new thing they call the trans community, the LGBTQ and all of them folk, and all of the other anti-American groups that's led by Democrat ideology, deem them all a terrorist organization. They don't mean us no good. They don't mean us no good. I've been talking about this even before the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I've been talking about this. It's time to dismantle these people. It shouldn't be allowed in our country. These doctors should not be allowed to administer all of this man-made experimental medicine or drugs or dope or chemicals. They shouldn't be allowed. That should be illegal. Men should not be able to walk around here impersonating a woman. That's deception. All of this evil ideology that they want to indoctrinate our children with, it's time to dismantle it. All of these stupid behind teachers that want to teach this stuff to our children. It's time to dismantle all of it. All of it. Yeah. Some of you out there, you want to talk about me drawing on my eyebrows. Oh, you draw on your eyebrows, but you don't say nothing about the little blue-headed looking perp that's out there walking around looking like a Frankenstein fool. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, that's okay. Y'all, you want me to accept that. You want me to be okay with that? You say nothing about that. But you want to come and pick at me, torment me. And all I'm doing here is just trying to tell y'all what's going on here in our country. I ain't picked up a gun to shoot nobody. A lot of you mother bastards out there spewing hate and just hate upon hate. It's up to me to ignore you, block you, but not pick up a gun and blow you away because I disagree with you. And shame on the people. I saw some stupid black pastors. I saw, who was this? D.L. Hewley, I heard him. I saw some idiots out there that want to say that what happened to Charlie Kirk was not an assassination. They want to chalk it up and call it white on white crime. That's what they want to chalk it up as, white on white crime. So, you know, y'all know how I am. I went and looked this thing up because I'm like, what else do you call it? So I looked up the word killing. It's an act of causing death, especially deliberately. I looked up the word murder, the unlawful premeditated killing of a human being by another. Then I looked up the word assassination. Assassination is the murder of a prominent individual by stealth or surprise, especially for political reasons. Key elements are the victim's importance, the targeted nature of the killing due to their public role or ideology, and the method often involves sudden or treacherous means. This was a clear assassination. A clear assassination is what this was. Yeah. The bullet hit his neck. Oh, God. The bullet hit his neck because they wanted to silence his voice. This is where your voice is at. This is where it all stemmed from. They wanted to send a message because they wanted to silence him. They want to silence all of us. That's why they continue to keep their feet on our neck. Now, if y'all remember, George Floyd died of an overdose, and some says that he died, that he was murdered. But I want y'all to understand the Democrats, you all, they celebrated this known drug addict. They had several funerals, had him in a gold casket. He probably ain't never seen gold before. Yeah. They did several ceremonies of this known drug addict that they didn't even know. When they told us all to stay in the house, yeah, they told us, oh, y'all got to stay in the house. Then they turned around and they had a statue made of this known drug addict. Even members of Congress in the Democrat Party fell to their knees there in Congress wearing a kente cloth. The African cloth around them. Yeah. To celebrate this known drug addict. So please don't say nothing about how we choose to celebrate Mr. Charlie Kirk. Who led his life as a Christian man and who was assassinated for having an open dialogue, a debate. Then I hear something, well, he spewed this, he said that. I don't give a doggone what he said. Does that give anybody the right to take a man's life because you disagree with what he said? Does it? Democrats went around with just George Floyd, a known drug addict. They went around and burnt up cities, broke out windows, murdered other human beings. That's what they did. With Charlie Kirk, there are several visuals going on. Instead of burning down a community, conservatives, we're lifting up the communities. We're gathering in the communities to have visuals. That's what we're doing. Yeah. That's what we're doing. But Democrats, y'all some nasty bastards. You are the devil from the pits of hell with everything that you all have done to this country. The way you have stolen our wealth. The way you've treated people. You've taken and locked up innocent people. People that lost everything because of you all. So now it's time to go around and round them up, because I understand that there was some chatter going on the day before Charlie Kirk was murdered, was assassinated, was killed. Yeah. Who was all part of that chatter? Round every last one of them up. Who's out there celebrating? As far as I'm concerned, you know something. Who was the joker in the crowd that after the shot was fired, the guy started celebrating, they got him on camera? Round them up. Put them in jail. And question each and every one of them. Yeah. Every last one that's involved. And then do a deeper dive in your investigation to see if this young man, this young guy, this young boy actually did the shooting, or was it a second shooter from another angle that fit the angle that the bullet really came? Because some things ain't adding up for Silk. Some things ain't adding up for Silk. Some things ain't making sense for Silk. Now, I'm not no investigator. I'm not going to go into all of that. I'm going to let Cash Patel and the other guy, I'm going to let all of them do whatever they're going to do. Dan Bangino, I'm going to let them do what they're going to do. But some things ain't adding up for Silk. But everybody involved, round their asses right on up. It's time to get to the root of this problem. I want to know, who are these people that's indoctrinating other people into saying and thinking that all conservatives are fascists and white supremacists? Yeah. Anyone who is caught saying this need to be locked up. Because that's character assassination. Yeah. You indoctrinating these young minds, these young people, into believing your bull crap. That's what propaganda look like. Who's teaching these young people that it's okay to dehumanize people and make them a target? What's up with that? Y'all, what's up with that? Huh? How are these people allowed to be in position to teach people how to dehumanize other human beings and sow all of these bad seeds? Who's funding this? Huh? Who's funding these so-called protesters? Yeah. Who's funding this trans junk? Who's funding all of these terrorist organizations? Round them up. Round all of them up. Because it's not okay to walk around here murdering other human beings. It's okay to agree to disagree when you have a disagreement, but it's not okay to murder human beings and then turn around and laugh about it. So I hope Charlie Kirk saw Diamond. I hope Diamond saw Charlie Kirk, and I hope they team up there with God. Yeah, because we need help down here. We truly need help down here. Our country is going straight to hell. All of these different ideologies have been allowed to infiltrate our country. They are being allowed to indoctrinate our children with all of their lies. And it shouldn't be like that here in America. It shouldn't be like that. Not here in America. So rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. I'm going to miss seeing him. I usually see him sometimes at the Steve Band, and I'll turn over there and look at him. And I did not know that was going to be my last time seeing him. The day before they killed him. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Diamond. Because we need help here. We need help in America. And I'm grateful that President Trump, what him and his team is planning on doing, they need to do it. It should have been done. I'm not saying that they wasn't going to do it. I believe they was just, taking their time about doing it. But right now, no, we need it done. It needed to be done ASAP. These people need to be deemed a terrorist organization because they are terrorizing America. Look at all of the shootings that has happened. Yeah. It's evident. It's right there. The handwriting is on the wall. What's truly going on? If I can see it, I'm pretty sure they can see it. Something's going to have to be done ASAP. Who's all involved here with all of it? Not just with the assassination of Charlie, but also when it comes down to Big Pharma, all of this different medicine, the insulin. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All of this chemtrails, all of this mRNA, and all of these different technologies. Like we some type of robot, so we need a technology. Yeah. What's really truly going on here? Got these people mind cuckoo. What's really truly happened? Everything needs to be exposed and disclosed. Everything. I come here, I talk about it. I told y'all something's going to have to be done here. If not, we're not going to have a country, y'all. We're not going to have a country. So once again, my heart goes out to Erica. She did a phenomenal job the other night, staying as sane as she did. And I know that couldn't have been me because I would have called every last one of them out. You took my husband and then you laughed about it like it's okay. No. My heart goes out to the children, his little babies. That's going to have to relive this day over and over and over. Because we got idiots out there that love seeing people in pain, terrorizing America. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Love you. Rest in peace, Diamond. Love you. You all continue to pray. Every day at 11:21 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, stop what you're doing and you pray. Pray for me. I pray for you. We pray for each other. Pray for President Donald J. Trump. Pray for his protection. Pray for his family, their protection. And you all pray for our country. Pray for God to heal the land. I love you all out there. So in the meantime and in between time, I look forward to seeing you next time right here on Diamond and Silk Chit Chat Live. Bye-bye.